Welcome to Twinset and Purl's knitting podcast. I'd like to welcome all our returning viewers and also say welcome to any new people who've stumbled across our little corner of the YouTubes. This is our 12th episode, and I'm Jo.
And I'm Rachel.
And
I did that when I was drinking a bit of my tea.
We're twin sisters who design together as Twinset and Purl. I mostly design.
Yeah, we don't design together, do we?
No, we don't.
We share a Ravelry store.
Yeah. Rach designs mostly socks, the odd sweater, and some cowls you've designed. I've got some hats, some cowls, and some shawls. And who knows where it will take us, but we love to share with you our new designs and other things that we're knitting on, because we knit all the time.
And that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We kept going. We're really enjoying doing it, and we hope that you enjoy listening to our rambles.
Yeah. And we love hearing from comments from people from all around the world, because it blows our minds that
people are listening to us.
Yeah. Even if, I don't know, we do this, it's, even if 2 people watched it all the time, it would be worth doing, because...
Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
He always watches.
It's just lovely to hear from people about how much they enjoy hearing us blather on about...
And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been thinking about me while I've been starting my second chemo journey. Everything's going okay. I started 2 weeks ago. Monday will be my 3rd week and the end of my first cycle of chemo. And I'm coping really well, I think. The heat, we will talk about the heat. All English podcasters this weekend will be talking about the heat wave, second mini heat wave we've had. Hasn't helped the side effects, but I have been able to cope with them. And it's mainly severe fatigue. And I've just been going to sleep. But I have been knitting. And my bracelet is banging on the table, which is not good. Yeah, so I've actually been doing a lot of knitting that I can't talk about, but I do have a few things to show you, and Jo has loads. So we better get started.
Yeah.
First of all, is that an FO that you're wearing?
It is, because I decided not to add any sleeves. It's the Merino by Jacqueline Seaslack, and it's a little cropped. I did in between the 2 lengths that she's got in the pattern. So she's got one that's kind of come up here, but would kind of like
basically
just come under my boobs. So I decided that wasn't the look I was going for. And what I wanted was something I could wear with dresses. So I had happened to have this skirt on. I was wearing it with something else this morning, and I thought, well, that looked too bad.
No, it's lovely.
So this is the Merino, and it's got this half brioche pattern,
and it goes on the sides,
and it comes around the back.
Yeah, it's lovely. Turn around a bit more. Yeah, you can see it. Just see it.
And this yarn is 100% cotton, and it's a 3-ply yarn. So it's actually, I think it's 225 meters per 50 grams. So this is meant for a sport weight, and
you've done heavy fingering,
light fingering. So I went up an eel size. I did knit it on a 3.75 because I'm also quite a tight knitter, and I mean, it's not negative ease.
No.
There is a bit of ease, but it's just exactly what I...
Well, if it's what you wanted, and also if it does, it completely...
Yeah. So I was doing the end of the body, and I was like, do I want sleeves? And it's so hot here at the moment that I just thought, no, I don't want sleeves. So I just cast off. I haven't done any edging, any edging around the neck. But I think the way that you do the increases, it leaves this nice edge anyway.
It's a beautiful sweater, and
I'm going to knit another one in wool, definitely.
And there is a big. The original was a chunky version which I've knitted.
So there's the one I've got has got worsted and a sport.
Yeah, and then there's the Ursa was the chunky, bulky yarn, if you're in America.
So I'm definitely going to be knitting a wool version.
With sleeves.
With sleeves. So I just thought this
I think I might have to knit one as well.
And it's so quick. And this yarn, I literally used maybe 120, less than that, 110 grams. So it's just perfect for this time of year. You know, and if you really wanted to, you can put a long sleeve t-shirt
So
underneath.
you've knitted that since the last time we podcast?
I think I showed it on the last podcast. I'd cast it on. Yeah, so that's my SWMerino.
Very nice. And I'm not wearing any knitwear.
It is like,
and we've had to shut the windows.
is it like 15 degrees warmer than it normally is this time of year?
So we've had to shut the windows because in case it's been quite quiet this morning, but just in case it gets noisy.
Somebody drives past and revs their engine.
Yeah, we thought we'd shut the windows. So we're going to try and be quick today.
Yeah.
So, how many FOs have you got?
I've got two FOs.
I've got one FO. So you go first.
Okay, so my FOs are the Morton Street cowl that I was knitting. I knitted for my friend, and I've got a couple of new designs that I'm working on, and I was like, shall I leave this till afterwards, because she doesn't need it for now. But I thought if I just get on with it, I actually only had that much, just a bit creased or whatever.
If you hold it,
but
hold it and wear it.
Yeah, I've done the paler stripe, and I just thought if I get on with it, I've only got, I don't know, 30 rows to do. So I just did that during my work meetings and bashed that out. So how I block them is I block it like that on the blocking mats initially, and then when it's almost dry, I take it off so you don't get the crease. Or try to minimise the crease down the thing. But this yarn
fluffy,
it's alpaca and silk, and it's quite drapey, but it does seem to crease a little bit. So she may need to steam it just before she wears it, because it's going to have to be folded to be posted up anyway. But it was 3 colours that I held double: a cream, a camel, and a grey. And
all that information's in previous.
The first section was the camel with the cream, and then it was cream with the grey, and then the grey with the camel. But it's quite, I think it's lovely how it, from a distance, it looks like camel, cream and grey. Yeah. But when you get up closer, you can see the mottled
lovely
look of it.
And it's so soft.
So that'll keep her nice and warm in Scotland when it
when she needs it.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a heat wave for the whole year, is it? Let's face it.
Not even till next week, I don't think.
No. So are you going next? Or
I'll go next because I've only got one FO. And I showed these last episode. I showed one. I've knitted the second one along with my test knitters.
So instead of a hoe, you've got a faux.
Got a faux, yeah. So these are, I didn't put them on a blocker. These are the cinnamon.
But they've been blocked and they look much less odd than they did last time.
So these are the cinnamon snow socks, which I have done in collaboration with Birdstreet Yarn. This is their cinnamon snow colourway. And there's a little bit of lacy interest at the top of the leg, and then the rest of the sock is ribbed. Really nice fit. And then at the end, I've just done a little twisted stitch to...
Is that what you call a wedge toe?
Yes, I call this a wedge toe because I just decrease evenly to... and for me, they're the best ones. They fit. And you don't have to remember where you are. Like on a rounded toe, you have to do so many rounds of decreases and then
a rounded toe.
So I just always go with a heel flap and gusset and a wedge toe in my patterns, and I like them. So you can obviously do whatever you want. So these, I said in the last episode that they were going to be launched yesterday. Well, we've had a slight change of mind, and because John and Claire are going to the southern wool show, they will have kits with the pattern and the yarn, and I need to post these to John now so he can take some lovely pictures for me, and then I will finish the pattern and it'll be ready for them to, and we decided we'd launch at the show rather than me launch earlier.
Alpaca fibre,
which that's not good.
No.
You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so those are quite sweet little.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah. So that's my finished. I actually finished.
I'm thinking that pattern might have to go on a cowl.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Yes, very nice.
That's
Not
what
without rib, just ribs at the bottom.
Yeah.
Not have the. Yeah, because when you look at it, it actually moves. Like there's a top bit to it and a bottom. I don't know. That sounds ridiculous. When I saw it in the book.
To me, it looks like icing.
Yeah, because it's got that
Garter
scallop
bit.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's very easy
Got
for
more
anyone who wants to try
Yes.
their first lace on a sock. It's very easy, and I do chart and written. So
The
pattern will be
fluff up my
the
nose
pattern
now.
will be launched on the 3rd of September.
Perfect. So my last FO is my monsoon season cowl.
This is absolutely
And
beautiful. I want this.
So
I don't
it's
want to knit
knit
one,
in
but I want it.
a 4-ply and a Suri alpaca, and you get this for the shape of it. You get this little extra bit which I tuck down and forms like a bit of a
Extra bit.
extra warmth around your neck.
Mm.
So rather than starting it so that that's straight, I
Mhm.
actually think that's nice because you can get that kind of
Rolled effect.
yeah. I really like it. And the yarn obviously is the same dye.
It's Fruitful
Fruitful Fusions, and it's the same. It's cream with all these different colours on. But when you do the corrugated rib with the fingering and the Suri together,
This bit here.
you get much more play of the colours. I think it's just beautiful. And then so it starts off with corrugated rib, and then it comes down into this feather and fan.
Is it not like a modified?
I think it's more of like a peacock
Yeah,
tail, but I've kind of modified it to give it a rib
it's lovely.
pattern. So the rib continues down, and then you just get these eyelets and pearl bumps, which I've knit the eyelets and the pearl bumps with the 2 strands together,
Right.
so you get this even more raised effect.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I just kept going. I've got some yarn left over, but
Can you try? Is it too hot to try
no.
it on?
because
You can see how you might have to.
because I knit tightly, I never use all the yarn because I know that other people are going to need an extra bit of yarn.
So that's definitely like a full shawl coverage.
Yeah. So I really like
garment.
them in the winter or like in the autumn when you don't really want your heating on,
Yeah.
but you're just a little bit chilly around your shoulders, around your neck.
Does it do that? Can it do that?
Just about. It's quite because you're doing the corrugated rib, it doesn't stretch quite as much. Because at the moment I'm working on. I've got to show you my whip. I'm working on a version without the Suri and the fingering held together or work together, so you can see how
Difference,
the difference in that. But
So
this Rach Fruitful Fusion is going to have I'm going to need to get tested. I haven't made the pattern yet. So next week or so I'll write the pattern, then I'll have a test call out, and then Ishrat's going to produce some kits.
beautiful.
This beautiful yarn.
And I've still got my yarn in that colourway to knit.
It's just so gorgeous.
To knit something with. I'm not knitting
That with a grey jumper or a cream jumper or navy blue.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? All the different combinations of things you can do with a knit and purl stitch.
And it would look amazing with a denim jacket as well.
Yeah. So that will be coming soon. It's the next pattern. I know there's another couple of cowl patterns that some people might be waiting for, and they are in the works, but this is going to be the next one that gets tested.
Brilliant.
Cool.
So, is that all our FOs?
That's our FOs.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to whips?
Mm-hmm. How many whips have you
we
got?
can talk about. I've got 3. In fact, I've got a ho. But I also forgot to bring in the gift that I was given.
Okay. We'll talk about one of your whips, and then because I've only got 2 whips.
Okay.
Talk about one of yours, and then pop and get that while I talk about it.
So, I'll talk about this one because this I haven't actually talked about. Well, I talked about this pattern on the podcast, but I haven't actually talked about my. And I'll have to tell you the secret now. So
like that bag.
this is an
So
Eldon
cute.
Woodcraft little sock bag, and living in it is my version of the Colin socks, which I never finished in time for Bridgerton. So this is the first one that I've knitted, the right one. So you can see the pattern comes down that side, and then it's down the back on that side. So I am just past the heel flap. I've just picked up my stitches for the gusset for the second one. So that's the left one. So it's on that side and that side. And this is I'm knitting mine in the Hygge colourway by Botanical Yarn,
Nice.
which was one of Sophie's, I think it was last year. Was it last year? Might have been in the autumn, one of the virtual
Yorkshire.
Yarn Fest colourways. So it's got these pops of orange and green, and it's very nice. So yeah, so I'm trying to go through all my sock whips and finish a couple every month, because I've got so many pairs with one sock knitted. So
Colin's going to be finished.
So Colin will be finished, and as we all know, Colin is our favourite. Don't tell the others. Yeah, so Colin will be done this month, which is good.
Had made no progress on Anthony.
Oh, poor Anthony.
Anthony
Right.
might get a bit of
I'll
love
pop and get
after
my
I
gift, and you
finish this.
You talk about it.
Yeah, so my next whip I spoke about last time is the Cerseus sweater, and it was this lovely raglan with lace on the sleeves and lace down the body, and the designer of this is Marie Amelie Designs. You can see her name there, and her designs are available on Ravelry. I think this one is actually a free pattern. It was definitely free when I got it. It might be that it was an offer, but I can't remember. And I have put quite a bit of work onto this the last couple of days since I finished this one. Because I knew this was definitely summer. I wanted to get this one done first, and now I'm on to this one. So I had got to this pink marker the last time I podcast.
So that's the armhole.
Yeah.
I see.
And
There's the pink mark.
yeah, so I've added this much since in the last couple of days.
Wow.
And
It's so lovely.
I am going to do 2 more repeats. So from where that green marker is, 2 more repeats. So effectively 3 inches more.
So you've nearly done one.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put it's an inch of rib, inch and a quarter of rib, I think. So that'll go on the bottom. I tried it on this morning. And absolutely loving it. And this fabric is just so lovely. It's knitting it with woolly knit 100% cotton in the colour natural beige, and it comes as in a 400 gram cone.
Amazing.
So I think
most people could get a full sweater out of it.
Yeah, so bought a black one and a beige one, and I'm going to have enough to knit a third sweater. So I knit a short sleeve black material girl with a tiny little bit of this as some nut details across. And I think I'm going to have enough of that and this to knit another stripey. I think I'm going to do the Sabella or one of the Isabel Kramer. I might have to work the gauge out, because I'm knitting this on 3.25 needles, and I'm really loving the gauge of this. This fabric is so soft. Now a lot of people, and I myself, have struggled with knitting with cotton when it's that Pima cotton, the shiny.
Yeah, Mercerise.
And this isn't. And it's just so lovely to knit with. I'm like, I want to go and buy all the colours.
And it's so affordable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 for £20, I think it was, on offer. It was on offer. I think it's like £13 a cone. So if you get 2 cones and you can get 3 sweaters out of it, or 3 tops out of it, I mean, that's just a bargain, isn't it? So I won't be knitting that one this year.
Just check.
But yeah, what I did with the black one was I took it off the cone, I wound it into a cake.
So you have discovered,
because I can't weigh it with the cone.
But you have discovered that you've got a project bag that's perfect for.
Yes. So I'm keeping it in my Hohi and Co. bowl bag. And the cone just fits in here perfectly, so it is transportable. But yeah, see that? Look, the cone fits in there perfect. Which is really good because I've got another woolly knit cone in a green merino that I plan to knit myself an autumn sweater with. But yeah, so the beige and black will be something for next.
Did you say how long you're going to do sleeves?
No, I hadn't got on to sleeves yet.
Right, okay.
So once I've done another couple of repeats of the body and the rib, I'm going to move on to the sleeves. Now I normally would do the sleeves before I do the body, but because it's a cone, I didn't want to cut the yarn, so it made more sense to do the body, otherwise you've got more ends to sew in, and cotton isn't the easiest. The ends tend to show a little bit on cotton, so I was thinking, the cone's absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
in a way, because you get the whole body without any joins. Because I don't know about you, but I've got a couple. Like I made sure with this one that the joins were in the back or on the side, but I wasn't that clever with my Felix, and I've got a join here.
Yeah, and annoys you.
And it really irritates me. And it's like I'm not going to undo it and re-knit it. But I'm probably going to knit another Felix. But yeah, so I'm going to do, once I pick the sleeves up, I was thinking, I really like the 3/4 length, the elbow length sleeve, and not 3/4, half, I guess. But I'm thinking that if I knit this full length, I'll be able to wear this a long way into the autumn. Start off with a vest underneath and then go to a long sleeve top. But my plan is to knit the sleeve straight without any decreases.
Right.
I cast off my stitches, I prefer that method because it doesn't stretch. Nothing gets stretched.
Oh, when I
hold them.
I do the same thing.
So I'm going to knit the sleeve straight and then do a rapid decrease and an I-cord on the bottom, I think. Yeah, so hopefully by the next podcast that will be done. But I'm absolutely loving it, and
I want to knit one as well.
I thought that I would do it shorter, and
in fact,
I'm really enjoying it. So I'm like, why? If I make it longer, I won't wear it with dresses.
No. You've got lots of things to wear with dresses.
So yeah, that'll be a jeans and trousers for work or whatever. I think it would look really, really lovely.
I think I'm going to knit one. I've got about 6 sweater quantities of 4-ply, most of them navy blue, which I have bought for various sweaters over the years and not knitted. So
Yeah, I think one of
Yeah.
those is definitely.
but I need to find out about the Hohi Fall knit along because it starts soon, I think, September. Does it start September or does it start October?
Oh, it's September, October, November, isn't it?
Because I want to knit a marble mount, so I need to look into that. So I have cast on a sweater since the last podcast, and the last time we podcast, this was an acquisition, this yarn that I'm using. So I'm using this cotton, Zowable cotton. It's 100% cotton, 4-ply. You get 4.
You are knitting a navy blue 4-ply sweater.
Yeah, with the yarn I only just bought. Yeah, so you get 420 metres, and it does change colours, which you'll see on when I show you the ball that I'm knitting on. So I'm on the yoke, so there's not exactly a lot to show, but it's living in my beautiful bag that was, it was a gift in a way. I can't remember the maker.
Tizzy.
How annoying. Tizzy Quilts and...
She's definitely in one of our previous.
Yeah, I'll
find
link
her
it below,
now,
and I'm
yeah.
really sorry that I've forgotten your name. I should have thought about that before I even talked about this bag, but we don't have a tag on.
It's a beautiful bag. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those jeans that I had at university because they had this Liberty print.
Yeah.
Where I'd lost, like nowadays, kids just have them torn and let their skin show through, but I patched mine with that Liberty
So it's a
print.
beautiful bag. It's a beautiful patchwork bag, and the story was that she gifted 2 to the podcast, and I fell in love with that one. So went and bought another one to give as a prize and kept that one. And then she said, you could have kept that one anyway. So yeah, so I'm on the yoke. So it's
Just show the ball.
okay.
So this is the colours that it's going to be going through to.
And it started with navy.
And it's like this sort of almost cobalt blue down to, I don't know, do they call that cerulean?
Yeah, I don't know.
But
So
it's
I'm
like,
just starting
like quite
on
a bright blue.
So this
And
pale,
then it goes back to navy.
so this is just starting to come through here, and I'm still on the raglan increases. So
And you're knitting a material girl.
I'm knitting a material girl. We'll link the pattern below. Jo's knitted it before for the podcast. She talked about
And
it
it's
on the podcast.
lovely. It's a really lovely raglan shape. Not all raglans are equal.
No, created equal.
Yes.
But I'm also knitting a slightly higher gauge, so I don't actually know what my gauge is because I didn't swatch. Boo, boo, boo. But I'm hoping I'm going to have enough to do. It's going to be short sleeves, I think. I might do the body first, depending on what colour I end up splitting. So I'm slightly concerned that I'm going to end up slitting for sleeves when it's that pale blue. And I'm going to need to do the cuffs in that colour, but I don't really want to do the cuff. I want to do the cuffs in navy if I can. So hopefully we'll be back to the navy. But anyway, I've only casted it on. It's already been something else. It was for a few days. It was an Ooh La La by Isabel Kramer, and that's the one where you knit the back and then you pick up from the shoulders to do the front. And I just discovered that I don't like that construction. I wanted a raglan. So yeah, so you can see it's very like fadey. I don't know, it's difficult.
Put them two colours size together. It's
Yeah.
really
So it's going to be kind of a shabby chic. It's definitely dyed by it's knitted up
yeah,
as a sort of like a blank and then dyed and then wound up so it's crinkly. But I'm loving it, and in this hot weather,
Yeah,
it's
actually
all
knitting
I've,
on that.
yeah, knitting on that has been enabled me to
cotton.
keep knitting really.
Yeah.
So, oh, I do have a picture. I've got the pattern. Somewhere. Well, that's the one I started. That's the Ooh La La.
Have a look.
It didn't become an Ooh La La. Oh, have I got a picture?
You
of
could
it?
put that lace onto something then, couldn't you?
I've lost the first page. So sorry, everybody. Don't have it.
But the Material Girl is quite a plain
Oh yeah,
raglan.
it's a plain raglan.
But her short rows are lovely. It's by
Cheyenne Billow.
Yeah.
It was commissioned by Chelsea Lux for their yarn.
Yeah.
So,
And it's lovely. And we'll link it below. But
so definitely knit.
yeah, her short rows are lovely. Everything about it I loved.
Yeah. So that's that.
And you know, if you are a bit creative, you can do your own thing with it as well. Like add some stripes, or like I added those.
Yeah,
little
you could
nuts.
definitely, and you could. The one that's in the pattern is merino linen yarn. So you could use yeah. So I've used cotton, but you could use
finger weight
wool, and it'd be lovely in like cashmere, like a sock with cashmere in, something like that. And that's so because it's cotton. That's one of the reasons I've knitted it on a slightly higher gauge. Also, I don't know why I wanted it looser, but it would be nice at a tighter gauge as a normal sweater, and you can do different length sleeves and everything. So
yeah, I think she's got instructions for 3 different lengths. Of
so it's quite a. When I got it, it was free. I don't think it's free anymore, but it was free for a while when it first came out. But yeah, it's definitely if you're looking for a raglan that's a bit more slightly the next level, I would go with that rather than just the raglans where you just increase every evenly. So it's definitely some thought has gone into the sizing and finishing. So it's a good one.
On my lip balm.
So you got last one. I've got one.
I'm
just going to have to wipe my upper lip.
So I'm going to visit some friends in the end of September.
In New England.
In New England, yeah. My husband and I got married in 2012, so this year is our 10th wedding anniversary, and we're having a trip to America, and we've got some really good friends, Claire and Oscar, who we met on our honeymoon. We did a safari in South Africa on our honeymoon, and we met Claire and Oscar. There was a family and another couple, but we kept in touch really well a lot with Claire and Oscar, and they live in Kentucky, and we've been out to visit them 2 times, and they've been over here a couple of times. And then when we were planning our trip, we messaged Claire and we're like, we'd love to meet up. So one time we stayed in Chicago and then Washington, and we spent the weekend with them in between. The second time we had a few days in Cincinnati, and then went to stay with them in Kentucky for Thanksgiving.
Come on, Jo, I'm starting to melt.
So we said to them, what do you we're not going to force ourselves to come and stay with you. What do you want? What would you like to do? And Claire was like, oh, do you fancy going to Rachel's Inn in New Hampshire? So Rachel was one of the other ladies on the safari. And unfortunately her husband's passed away since. But she owns a lodge on a lake in New Hampshire.
Wonderful.
So we're planning our trip around a 3-night stay at the lodge. We're going to go a week early and have some time in Boston and Providence and Hartford and Stowe, and then New Hampshire, and then Portland. So if anybody is watching this from the States wants to recommend, I'm going to definitely having a trip to Webb's. And although my husband is not particularly keen on the yarn, he has said that I'm allowed to have a few trips. So we can't go every day to a yarn store, but a couple of places. So if it's something that's a bit unusual, or where I'm going to find some really lovely local yarn or something, that's what I would like to go and find. So I'm imagining that Portland, Maine, has some good ones, because that's where Andrea Mary lives, and
I've been to one.
I would imagine there's a good one there. Anyway,
and there's a really good, and there's a nice one in Stowe, which when I was in Stowe with my husband, I didn't notice the yarn store sign, but Mark did, and he pointed it out, and then he went, "Oh, shouldn't have done that, should I? Now you want to go in the yarn store."
Yeah. So I am knitting a present for Raquel and a present for Claire before I go. And this is for Claire. So it's going to be based on the monsoon season, but I didn't have enough Suri, so I'm just knitting it in the 4-ply, and then I'm going to join the Suri in for the purl bumps on the feather and fan bit. And this is Julie Asselin Leizu Fingering, and it's merino silk.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I got it in a sale at a yarn store in Bath.
And what?
And it was going to be a Vertices Unite with a few others that I bought of hers at the same time, but I never knit that. And I now I knit one, but I knit it in one colour.
Oh right.
Anyway, this is so Claire, this colour. So hopefully she's gonna.
What's the colour?
The colour is limited edition limitée. And I'm going to pair it with these two. So this is a little bit faded. I'm hoping it's going to look a bit tonal. So when I do the purl bumps, I'm going to either do it just in those two or all three together. Because at that point I'm in the round, so I can just do one round of it. I don't need to come back on myself.
Beautiful.
So I think that's going to be lovely. Claire loves reds and auburns and
so beautiful. And you've got the perfect project bag.
And I've got the perfect project bag.
A matching project bag.
Yeah,
got to be done.
So those are my whips at the moment, those two.
I'm so sorry everybody for...
That's right, we're not going to... We haven't got very many acquisitions.
We haven't, no.
Shock.
So I have finished my first stripy sock for this month. August's stripy socks, which is a dotty wool. I think I remember saying that. I can't remember which month it is.
It looks very summery, very deck chair.
So it is definitely June or July because I'd knitted up to May, and then I think I'd done So I love these. Are going to be for me because last month I gave away to a friend, and this is a 6 colour repeat. So the cuff is all 6 colours, which ended up being something like 23 rows, which is a lot longer than I normally do. And then I just did the leg until I got to I wanted to put the heel in between the pink and the red. So I did it. And they fit so amazingly. So I might do longer legs for me as well as my dad. So
I love those colours.
Yeah, they're beautiful, aren't they? And I look at it and I think, because it started with blue and ended with blue, when you look at it, do you see blue? I don't. I immediately see red. So it's like, because I'm not going to wind on. So I ended with the blue. So I'm going to start with the green, which, much to your horror, that will be.
I will hardly ever see them.
But I don't think you'll even notice it when they're on your foot. And I don't really don't want to waste that bit of yarn. And then this is dotty wool as well, the contrast for the heel. And I've been knitting these basically at chemo. So I did finish, I did the leg.
You were there a long time.
The first day, yeah. I did the leg, I got to the heel flap on the first day. And then
anybody who's been into a hospital knows how much time you spend sitting around. And you weren't allowed any visitors, were you? No, I weren't allowed anybody to go with you.
Mark was allowed there for the first half of the first day, and then he had to go. And I was literally waiting to see if I had an allergic reaction to the chemo. So I was there for 4 hours, and it is the coolest. It's air conditioned. It's an amazing place. And I have to say that the whole experience has been helped by the fact that, I know I'm talking about this again and I probably shouldn't blurb on about it, but because I've been before, in a way it was a bit like 4 years hadn't happened when I walked in the door. But there were at least 5 of the nurses who looked after me before were still there. And it's been lovely to catch up with them. They know me. And even the matron who doesn't really, she just monitors the ward kind of thing. On last Monday, she walked past us, oh, there's Jane. And she came up, she went, Fletcher. Rachel, what are you doing back here? And I was like, what do you think I'm doing back here? So the knitting has been amazing. And we've got a really good Maggie's Centre in Oxford. So if I'm waiting around, I go there and you get free tea and coffee. And you might have seen on my Instagram, there's a beautiful chair to sit in. And it just makes the whole experience so much better, because the first time when I was diagnosed, I couldn't actually knit. It took them 7 or 8 months before they'd let me have the cortisone injections into my wrists for the carpal tunnel. And then it was nearly a year till I had the operations. And you can't believe the difference in my positivity, everything. It's just been helped by knitting. So long may it continue.
Knitting and lovely NHS nurses who are still there.
And somewhere to go and get a free coffee when you have to wait for 2 hours. I mean, that's tranquil and, restful, and there's lovely people.
And you met somebody this time who wants to improve their knitting.
Yeah, I was chatting to one of the volunteers at Maggie's, and during lockdown she tried to knit a sock and got stuck. So on Monday, she's bringing her sock and I'm going to help her when I go and wait for my hour.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So, we haven't got any yarn acquisitions.
I haven't got any yarn. I bought a couple of books, but I'm thinking I might
talk about them
next time because I haven't really looked at them that much.
So I'll just quickly
show I'd like to give a proper review.
I'll just quickly show my gift that I was sent by. So when I got back from chemo on Monday, there was a parcel, and my husband was like, "What have you been buying now? What have you been buying now?" And I said nothing because I hadn't. And this, what was in the parcel, this stunning project
It's
bag,
beautiful. It's like, I didn't realise it was denim.
which is by lovely Lydia, who handmade in Suffolk, and inside is just as beautiful. And she screen prints or block prints the fabric herself, and then inside is this beautiful, is it Liberty?
That looks like a Liberty print to me.
And this was sent to me by my wonderful friend Maggie, who I chat to every week. We have a standing 2-hour chat every week. She knits every single design that I design.
And a couple of mine.
Yeah, and she's amazing. And she saw this and thought of me. So isn't that lovely that somebody thinks about you? So yeah. So, and we will plug lovely Lydia because it's amazing, and I will link her shop down below. And so I said to her, immediately I knew the yarn that had to be living in this bag. Not that I'm going to cast it on anytime soon, but it's the beautiful Alpaca yarn that I got at the Summer Wool Festival from her bargain bin, which I could not believe it was in the bargain bin, but this is merino yak nylon.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it's going to be a cowl. And I'm going to hold it with this mohair, which I wanted to hold it with Suri, but...
You hold it double with mohair?
Hold it just like
the
that.
Mohair, right, not the mohair.
No, not the mohair, just single. Two strands together. And this is Rico Essentials mohair, but it matches perfectly, whereas my Suri didn't. So yeah, so that's living in there.
And we can't dilute that lovely navy.
No, waiting, and I think it's going to be lace of some kind.
All right, you're not doing your...
I was thinking about doing Cozy Companion because I don't actually... I've knitted 5 of those and I don't actually have one of my own. So maybe I will just knit a Cozy Companion. But yes. And that brings us to 2 things we haven't done.
No.
Talked about the cowl, the next cowl.
We will sort it out before next time we podcast.
Will we?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the next time we get together is going to be August Bank Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So we will sort it by then. And we've got a July winner to pick.
Yeah, because we're not going to start...
And an August
We're not going to start the cowl
till
till
September.
September. And if we think about it before, we might put something on Instagram and in a Ravelry group. So the links to the Ravelry group and everything is down below. And
Our Instagram.
what I think I'm going to do as well is I'm going to pick the winner from what Twinset and Purl pattern are you knitting thread, and message them on Ravelry, and then we'll say who it was in the next podcast,
and then we'll do August,
and we'll pick August for the next. So I'm going to pick July, and let them know, and we'll pick August and announce both of them at the. But that's going to be, we've decided now, the prize is going to be a pattern of your choice from Ravelry. So, paid for by Twinset and Purl. So, that's easy enough to do.
Yeah, with that anywhere in the world, that's easy, isn't it?
It's brilliant. Perfect. I mean, not brilliant. That's brilliant. So, thank you if you've listened to us ramble on till now. And we'll be back soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up with ideas for a cowl. But if anybody else has an idea for a cowl.
So I'm just going to say what our idea is now. Our idea is gift knitting. So any of our patterns that you might want to knit as a gift. So it could be a sweater, it could be a cowl, a shawl, or just the socks.
Yeah.
So
go for the Kai Glass, the 3 skeiner.
So it'll basically be any of our patterns for the cowl, I think. Which now we're talking about it, but we'll make our...
Yeah, and we're deciding whether we're going to give an extra little bonus.
Yeah, we're not quite sure how to do it. We know how to do it. We know how to give the discount. Just not quite sure how to announce it so that people who are joining in the cowl are the ones who use the discount. That's what we want to happen. But, if anybody buys the patterns, then we can't really. Yeah.
But we definitely want it to be September, like till Christmas.
Yeah.
Till like the
right up
end
until
of the
you
year.
gift. Yeah, right up until you gift things.
Yeah. So we make it a nice long cowl.
Yeah. And we do want to give a discount more than our podcast 20.
Yeah.
Which we haven't mentioned this episode, but if you want to get a discount of any of our patterns, podcast 20.
And everything's in the
and now we are just rambling. Yeah. So
have a great rest of the weekend. This will probably be up by Sunday or later on today, Saturday. Did we even say what the date was?
Today is Saturday the 16th?
No,
13th. Saturday the 13th of August. Today. Oh my God. Honestly, the
heat, the drugs,
the side effects are flooding my brain right now. I'm like barely
holding it together.
Yeah, string a sentence together.
Anyway, it's lovely to share all of our things with you. And if you liked us and fancy hitting the like button or subscribe, subscribe. I'm catching it off you, and I haven't even taken any drugs. I do think I'm getting twin side effects though.
You might be.
Yeah. Either that or it's just the dreaded M word, which my husband keeps using for everything. Anyway, that's just another story. So have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the heat in the UK while we've got it, because next month on Monday it's going away. Well, it's reducing.
It's going to feel. It's going to be higher than average, but it's still going to feel cooler.
Cooler. I think heat's coming down by like 15 degrees next week.
Right.
Anyway, the weather's my favourite topic. I could talk about it for ages. After knitting.
Cool.
Right. Anyway, guys, nice to speak to you, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Happy knitting.
Bye.
Bye.